Hey Agave lovers, welcome back to the channel. My name is Lucas and today is part 3 of Agave Weberi. In the first 2 episodes we saw me extracting the Agave Gringola to make room for the new Weberi. This Weberi outgrew its place here outside the fence. I only meant it to be there for about a season, but you know, life happens and it ended up being here for about 3 years. So it's getting huge and it's time to move it now or never. So we are in late October. It's one of my favorite times to start doing any of the moving and changing of the landscape that I need to do. And so we have already pulled it out of the ground, and the next step is to get this beast about, I would say, about 20 feet behind me. It's not going to be very easy, but I want to show you all of these steps because I think it's important to see the whole process from start to finish. So without further ado, I'm gonna drink some coffee, tighten up my back belt here, and get started. And I think the best way to go at this is to just pull it. I don't think I want to pull it from the core. I feel like, you know, Agave Weberi is a pretty fragile plant, and I'm not sure how I'm gonna get this moved over there. So I'm just gonna try to move it, and we'll see how it moves, and then we'll go from there. Okay, it's now or never. So I think what I'm going to do is, I don't know, maybe even kind of one of these things, because I don't want to just pull this thing this way, because then I'm breaking all the leaves on the bottom. So I may try to grab it by its roots and start pulling it this way, since the leaves are in an upward fashion, that if we pull it from the bottom here this way, we're not breaking any of the leaves going in the opposite direction. So let's go ahead and give this a shot. Okay, it's not heavy. Hopefully it looks good there. Okay, so far so good. That wasn't so bad. I'm going to reposition the camera so that we can get a better look on what we're doing here. Also, this is an important time to figure out which side we want to face the sidewalk. We want a nice pretty side, so the bottom of this plant is just as pretty as the top of the plant. And it looks like from this side we have tons of irrigation. So it might be that this is the side that people see from the sidewalk. I don't have a lot of irrigation on the bottom of the plant here, but it could be that from that side the irrigation looks the best on the top of the leaves. So I'm going to walk around this side. Yeah, I think this is going to be the straight on view. So looking this way, this is the side I want the plant to be. So I'm going to take note of what it looks like on the bottom here. Make sure, okay, there's that big root here. I'm going to mark it with my knife here. This leaf, I'm going to mark it as X. That is the side that I should see. Let me move the camera now. Boy, look at that spot. Nice dirt. Okay, we are ready. Move the camera, and we marked our spot where we want the front to be. And let me just get a little bit more of this dirt out. Put it right up here. Okay, I see you coming back down. Big rock, don't need you. Okay. Oh, look at this. Almost clunked my head here. What do we got here? I can't read what it is, but from a former plant. Okay. Is this a good spot? Everything look good? It's here. All right. Okay. That is going to face this way. So I kind of want to pick it up, roll it slightly, and then I can tip it into its spot. Okay, so I'm going to grab it and roll it. Don't break, leaves. Don't break. It's not quite rolled in the right spot. It's almost there. It's in the hole, but it's not where, not the right position to be facing. So let me get up here. These shovels out of the way. Ouch. It's so funny when, you measure and you account for everything, and then you get something in its place. And you're like, oh, it's bigger than I expected. So, yeah, it's going to do fine here, but rolling it in the right position is going to be a little challenging. So what I need to do is I need to turn it counterclockwise. I want this facing this way, so probably about 15 degrees. I should say 15 minutes. 90 degrees. Okay. Beautiful. Almost there. A lot of dirt behind it, but we'll move that around. We'll move all that dirt where it needs to be. So let me just make sure I'm still filming. Maybe move the camera a little closer. Okay, so I think we got the right viewing angle here. But I wanted to kind of sit a little farther this way. It's a little close to the electrical box there, but maybe it's just because it's leaning in that direction right now. Once I get dirt underneath it a little bit more, maybe it will have a little bit more room there. But I would rather have this this way a little bit more. So I think I'm just going to start with my scoop, putting some dirt in there, and then once I get more dirt on the right hand side, I can kind of pull the agave up so that it sits on that spot. Maybe rake some of this dirt down. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna start with raking the dirt down first. I just want to give the leaves here some room to lay once I get it into its position. That's pretty good there. Maybe in the back a little bit. Okay, so I think we're ready to put some dirt on that backside. I'm going to use my 38-ounce scoop, get some of the nice mixed up soil here. And as I was mentioning before, this is just some organics from my garden boxes where I had tomatoes. I should say where I had tomato plants that made no tomatoes. I have the worst luck on tomatoes. I don't know. We have tons of pollinators for our fruit trees, and then when it's time to grow vegetables, or tomatoes or peppers, it just seems like the pollinators are gone, and I can't get any. I've always had troubles with tomatoes. Well, in Michigan, where I'm from, tomatoes were pretty easy. But here, man, it's just been really challenging. Okay. Now, I think the hard part is going to be getting this plant rocked up, because I got to almost get that thing up about a foot. How in the world am I going to, oh, I just broke a leaf. How am I going to do that? Just like that. Just like that. Look at that. I think that's where I want it. Yeah, that really did what I wanted it to do. Man, it's just so much bigger than I thought it would be. Okay. I think I'm going to get under there with the shovel. Okay, so that's in a good spot. Now, we just, a lot of times we just have to kind of, a little bit by little bit, shimmy it into the right spot. That is probably good. Okay, I want to come out here and take a look. Yep, boy, that really did a good job. Okay, so did you see how I did that? Got it into place. It was a little too deep. Put the shovel in there, put some dirt in, pulled it up. Dirt goes under the root ball, sets back down. Still too deep. Rock it up more dirt in, set it down, and then we pull it back the other way, which is what I'm going to do next. I'm going to pull it back this way a little bit, get dirt in that side, rock it kind of farther that way to the point where it's going to look kind of weird, and then get the dirt down in. We're going to rock it a little bit more that way, get more dirt in, and then by then it should be at the right height, and hopefully we haven't broken anything by then. So let's push some of this dirt in. Okay, so now I'm gonna push it. Then we'll rock it back up, put some more dirt on that side. Let me get my shovel. Get this ready to go under. Okay, we're in the final stages here, so now it's really time to be careful because we haven't done anything too drastically bad. Knock on wood, and we want to keep it that way. So now, just want to be extra careful. Okay, let's take a look at it from the front. Okay, it's leaning a little bit this way. So we'll do the same thing. We'll just rock it forward a little bit. And I'll put some dirt under this side. Okay, it's getting there. You know, man, I wish I could just lift it up and move it just 6 inches over. But, you know, it is what it is. The plant, they're always bigger than what it seems. So I'm just gonna have to contend with, you know, when they open these things up, that I might get some damage on that side of the plant. But so far so good. I think I'm gonna probably just do it a few more times where I lift it up, put some dirt under it, and just go around it and do that. So I'm gonna get a quick drink of water and hit pause here real quick, and then we'll be right back. So I'm just getting some of this nicer dirt that was in the original hole and bring this over here. There's plenty for the striated Americana that's going to go there. Okay, so we're going to rock it up. I really want to make sure that I've got enough room on this side here. So one more time on this side without hurting my back. Oh man, I think I just did some real damage to it. I felt the core. I felt the core kind of, maybe it's just the leaf. Maybe it's just the leaf on the core. Okay, remember what I was just saying about we're in the home stretch here, not to do anything too drastic? I mean, it's not like it's going to kill the plant, but I think I may have broken this outer leaf at the base. I hope that's all I did. I'm going to leave it as is. I don't want to push it here. Okay, so now I'm just going to get it in its kind of final spot here. Okay, I've got the dirt under it. I do have to rock it over just a little bit. Maybe I'll rock it this way. Okay. All right, well, that's kind of scared me a little bit. So, man, I really hope I didn't do too much to it. Well, there's nothing I can do at this point other than to kind of stop torturing this poor plant and really just tidy this up and hope for the best. And that's all we can really do. So let's start doing that. I'm gonna start shoveling some of this dirt around the back side here. Okay, we'll get the rake out. A lot of dirt on this side. I brought my large broom out here too. I knew I was going to need it. Get some of these leftover roots from the guingola out of here. Now, the tree was on the agave was a little bit on an angle because it was up against the fence. But now that angle is opposite because this was up against the fence. So this was the part that was facing the sidewalk. So that's why a lot of this is lower than this side here. But, you know, I mean, it's looking real good. So I just, again, really hope I didn't do too much damage. Okay. We'll get some of this dirt out of these leaves here. When the leaves make contact with dirt, that's why I like to have it pretty coarse on there, just so these leaves don't start rotting. Because if they're touching the dirt there, we're heading into our wetter months. These leaves are usually the bottom leaves of an agave. Once it gets stressed, typically die off first anyway, pretty quickly. So I'm anticipating that happening. Especially this leaf here, it's pretty awkward and it's pretty impacted down here. And then we're gonna make this look as natural as possible. I don't think I'm gonna have time to, in part 3, do the Americana striata. We'll save that just for another video. That is kind of its own thing anyway. So we'll let the striata be, or we'll let the Weberi be the star of this one. Okay, boy, you really got beaten up today, didn't you, Weberi? Okay, it's looking pretty good now. Okay, so I am going to finish raking this up, get it as nice and neat as possible. You know, I'm worried about erosion right here from, especially what it's gonna look like when I start watering this. And I'll have to deal with that in time. But for now, I really need to get this plant some water. So I'm gonna finish up raking real quick and give this plant a drink, because a lot of the roots were usable and it's gonna need some water pretty soon. I'm gonna move some of this dirt away because that's just gonna erode down from the water anyway. Might as well just put it in front now before it even happens. Eventually I have a little retaining wall here. I'll probably, rocks are a little sparse at the moment, so I'll find some rocks throughout the yard, pick them up, bring them over here, and put them in place so that we're not losing all of our soil going onto this electrical box here. Okay, and here we are. Everything is swept up, got the plant in place. And just to recap, since this is the end of part 3, we started with the guangola. We cut that up, got it into the wheelbarrow, put it into my backyard compost. We prepped the hole. We trimmed the bottom leaves of the Agave Weberi, the striated Weberi. And then we got it out of its place that it had been for about 3 years, and we physically dragged it. That was, to me, the easiest way to go about it. Dragged it here, got it into place. We had to move it around quite a few times to get the location just right, and we pushed all the dirt back into place. We had to rock it a few times, get some dirt under one side, rock it this way, get some dirt under the other side, rock it back, get some dirt under that side, until it finally wiggles into its right place. So I may have done a little bit of damage to the core when I was pushing it pretty hard. I was really trying to avoid that. But a lot of times with, you know, the core is still really tight together. So maybe I just cracked a leaf open or cracked one of the leaves. Hopefully that's all it was. But, you know, since it is still tight together and it's growing, many times that it'll just heal itself. So I've had agaves where I've broken a leaf. Let's say it breaks up this way, but it's still being held together with the top there. If I bring that down, sometimes I'll take some painter's tape, tape it on the bottom, and it'll heal right up. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But I think that that's likely the case with this, is that I did hear a crack and maybe just one of the leaves went. And hopefully, since it is really tight, it'll just stick itself back together. So we have the last thing remaining. It's my favorite part. It's watering. And we're going to water the plant very thoroughly. And we're also going to clean off all of the agaves around it. because we did get them quite dusty and dirty from all of the labor that we put into getting this beautiful plant into place. So we're gonna water everything, get it all nice, and that'll be the last step. But we do want to give this plant a lot of water. Got a lot of dirt on the ovetifolia back here. There are rocks too. We don't want a bunch of muddy water sitting on top of those leaves, or they'll rot. Get the sidewalk here. After we're done watering all this, I'm going to water the surrounding agaves too, because I haven't watered since the last time I was out here with a prior video when I was pushing those agave blue flames upright. And I don't know, that was probably a week and a half ago, so it's been pretty hot and pretty dry, and it is October. Normally I don't really water much in October, but here we are. Times are a-changing. Look how beautiful this plant is. I love how water really brings out the colors. It's a gorgeous plant. I do have a few of these pups, and when they are ready, I will post them on my my plant page. These go fast. A lot of times I will make deals with people who contact me, a lot of times friends, even local. Once these go up for sale, it does not take long, and they're not cheap. So keep that in mind as well. So when this plant was about half the size its sister, I sold it to my friend Sarah, and they're not very cheap. So keep that in mind when I'm selling these pups, that I'm not trying to pull a fast one on anyone. These are rare and highly sought after plants, and they are priced accordingly. That's why I typically don't even sell my Americanas and things like that, because there's not a lot of market on them, especially by shipping them, because you can find them at your Home Depot or whatever. So they're easy to find. They're easy to find. That doesn't translate well to profits, so I really don't even sell those. And that's another reason why I'm kind of getting rid of a lot of the common plants in the yard. Once you get them in ground, they really start to put off a lot of offsets, a lot of pups. So I don't want hundreds of pups of things that I really can't sell, or I just don't have the space for. So that's another reason why one by one, these very common plants will come out of the yard. Not only common plants, but plants that just don't do very well in this landscaping. Well, my camera is right in the sun, so let me just make sure that we are still filming here. Well, I'm glad I checked on that, because as soon as I walked back there, the camera turned off. So, you know, sometimes these cameras just have a mind of their own, and they work when they want to, it seems like. So I'm just going to finish up here. We've done a really good job of watering. We really saturated this plant. It's looking really happy in its new home. And I just want to take just a moment to thank you again for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. I really have a good time, and it really brings me a lot of joy being able to share these experiences with you. This has been a passion of mine since, I would say, 2017, when I put my first agave in the yard. That's the large Americana that I've talked a lot about. And ever since then, I really got hooked on these plants. I live in a place where I tried bonsai for many years, and I had some greenhouse accidents and kind of wiped out my bonsai. So I evolved, changed, and went with something a little more suitable for my environment. And And here we are a few years later, and now I've got more plants than I know what to do with. So a couple of questions I've gotten pretty frequently is, Mr. Agave, when are we going to see those rare agaves that are in the greenhouses? Well, I assure you, you are going to see. You're looking at one right now. You're looking at one. This is a very rare agave here. How do I know it's rare? Well, it's one of the best-selling, most profitable plants that I do sell, and they sell out very quick. So it's not a plant that you're going to see at a nursery. It's not a plant that you're going to see at your big box store. It's something you're going to probably see mostly online with agave enthusiasts. So, but you're going to see more stuff. I got a lot of cool Titanota and Oterii and Horita and variegated cool stuff. So I will show you that in time. My greenhouses right now have their summer covers on, so the shade cloth is really not suitable for filming in. It's pretty dark, but pretty soon I'm going to be putting the winter covers on, and they're clear, and lighting will be a little bit better, and it'll be just a little easier for me to kind of show you inside there. And you're actually going to probably see some of those plants come out of the greenhouse and get put into the ground here, because this is the perfect time to do it. So I want to thank you again for stopping by. It really means a lot to me each week when I see more and more subscribers and people getting something out of these videos, because that is really important to me. I've been working with these plants for so long that I feel like that I should kind of pass on some of this expertise with you. And by no means am I an expert. I'm not a horticulturist. I didn't go to school for biology or ecology. I went to school for, I'm a commercial photographer, so I went to art school. But this has been a passion of mine, and I have learned a few things along the way. And with that, I would like to pass some of that knowledge on to you where I can. Feel free to leave me comments. I'm happy to answer them. Again, I do have a narrow lens with these plants through my own landscaping and my own sort of choices that I've made with placement and where I live specifically. So feel free to post those questions. I'll do my best to answer them. So thanks again. Like and subscribe if you can. Really appreciate that. And we'll see you again real soon. Thanks.